The path seemed clear, almost predetermined. Another Bellingham, another top-tier talent, making the journey from England to Borussia Dortmund, a club known for developing football's next superstars. 5 years after his brother Jude made a significant impact in Germany, it looked like Jobe was set to follow suit. The transfer fee was agreed, a record for Sunderland. The fans were expectant. The narrative was simple. It all seemed logical. Except it wasn't. Not for the key person in the deal. For years, Jobe Bellingham maintained a strategic distance from the one club everyone assumed was his next step. He had his reservations. The reason isn't just about a sibling dynamic, it's about a young professional's objective to build his own identity, separate from a legacy so significant it created a unique set of challenges. Everyone assumed Jobe Bellingham moving to Borussia Dortmund was a foregone conclusion, a simple matter of following in his older brother's footsteps. But what if that seemingly perfect path presented a complicated set of professional hurdles? In his own words, Jobe admitted he had a deep-seated bias against the move, driven by specific concerns that nearly led him to choose a different direction for his career. This is not the expected story. This is an account of the strategic considerations he faced, the unique pressures of his situation, and what ultimately convinced him to step out of a shadow and define his own career. Before the black and yellow of Dortmund, Jobe's world was the red and white of Sunderland. It was there, at the Stadium of Light, that he began the work of establishing his own professional reputation. When he arrived from Birmingham City in 2023, the comparisons to Jude were constant. But Jobe made a deliberate choice. He wore Jobe on the back of his shirt. It was a clear statement of intent. He was there to build his own career, not to benefit from his brother's. And he did just that. In the demanding environment of the EFL Championship, Jobe became a key player. He developed into a leader in the dressing room and a vital part of a team aiming for the Premier League. He played multiple midfield positions, showcasing a versatility that was all his own. During the 2024-25 season, his performance was notable. He contributed 4 goals and 3 assists in 43 games. But his overall impact was more significant. He recorded more tackles than any other player under 21 in the league, with a success rate that ranked among the best. This culminated in Sunderland securing promotion to the Premier League after an 8-year absence. To complete the achievement, Jobe was named the Championship Young Player of the Year, the same award his brother had won 5 years prior. But this was his own accomplishment, earned through his performance in one of the world's most competitive leagues. He had demonstrated that he wasn't just Jude Bellingham's younger brother. He was Jobe, a leader, a key player, and an individual building his own legacy. Despite his growing reputation at Sunderland, the comparisons to his brother were unavoidable. Jude wasn't just a successful sibling, he was a global star, a Champions League winner with Real Madrid and a key player for England. That context was most intense when considering one club in particular, Borussia Dortmund. That was the club where Jude had transitioned from a rising prospect to a world-class player. For Jobe, the idea of going there was less an opportunity and more a complicated challenge. The external pressure was significant. The media narrative often framed him as the next chapter in a family saga, leading to debates about whether he could meet expectations or if the comparison was too simplistic. This external narrative influenced his perspective. In a candid interview, Jobe acknowledged the reservations he held. "I was perhaps being biased against Dortmund for a very long time," he confessed, "because I have anxieties and fears, and you want to be your own man." For Jobe, considering Dortmund wasn't just a standard career choice, it was a move that amplified the constant comparisons. The primary concern wasn't his ability to perform, but the unique challenge of being perpetually measured against his brother's benchmark at the same club. The move represented a professional risk, stepping into a situation where his individual achievements might be overshadowed. Despite Jobe's reservations, two key factors pushed the deal forward: his family and the club's clear belief in him as an individual. The Bellingham family, led by their father and agent Mark, had a clear strategy for career development, prioritizing long-term growth and smart decisions over short-term publicity. They had guided Jude's career effectively and applied the same approach with Jobe. Borussia Dortmund understood this dynamic. Their interest wasn't in signing another Bellingham, it was specifically in acquiring Jobe. Their pursuit was direct and persistent. They recognized the unique talent he had become at Sunderland and saw him as an ideal fit for their philosophy of developing young, elite players. The club's top executives, including CEO Hans-Joachim Watzke and sporting director Lars Ricken, personally travelled to England to meet with Jobe and his family. Watzke, who had a long-standing relationship with the family, was a key figure. He addressed Jobe's specific concerns directly. He communicated that the right career path is the right path, regardless of who has taken it before. His message was straightforward. "We see you, Jobe. We see your potential, your strengths, your individuality." This was a clear demonstration of the club's belief in him as an individual player. They made it clear they were signing him for his energy, defensive work rate, and leadership, qualities he had honed at Sunderland. The club backed this belief with a significant investment. The £27.8 million deal was a record sale for Sunderland and made Jobe one of Dortmund's most expensive signings. It was an unambiguous signal of his importance to their future plans. They weren't just acquiring a famous name, they were investing heavily in a player they valued for his own merits. This story of navigating a complex career decision offers interesting insights. If you're enjoying this breakdown, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next story from behind the beautiful game. And drop a comment below. What do you think Jobe Bellingham's ceiling is at Dortmund? Jobe's change in perspective was gradual. The consistent, personalized approach from Dortmund's leadership, combined with his family's guidance, led him to reassess the situation. The conversations with Watzke in particular were pivotal, reframing the potential move. He came to a key realization. Avoiding Dortmund out of concern for comparisons would mean letting external narratives dictate his career path. That would be a decision based on the perceptions of others, not on what was strategically best for his development. He summarized this shift himself, stating, "I don't think I should let those fears stop me from making the right decision. For me, it was about choosing the right path, not necessarily a different one." This captures the core of his new thinking. He concluded that establishing his own identity wasn't about choosing a different path simply for the sake of it, but about having the confidence to select the optimal path. He knew Dortmund's record of developing young players into top-tier talent was undeniable. His own brother was the ultimate example of that. Turning down that proven pathway simply because of his last name would be, as he put it, a big mistake. Ultimately, the choice was logical. Dortmund presented the most strategic opportunity for his future, and the club had demonstrated a clear, specific interest in him. With this understanding, the hesitation dissipated. He was ready to accept the opportunity at Dortmund, confident in his own abilities and career plan. Jobe Bellingham's arrival in Germany immediately signalled his commitment. He withdrew from the England U21 squad to join Dortmund for the FIFA Club World Cup, a decisive move that showed his focus on his new club. He made his debut against Fluminense and scored his first goal against Mamelodi Sundowns, displaying the classic Bellingham timing with a late run into the box. He did all of it with Jobe on his back. The decision to join Dortmund wasn't about following his brother's legacy, but about professional confidence. He directly addressed the challenge of comparison, choosing to join the club with the belief that his own talent would allow him to establish his own place. He chose the best environment to become the best player he could be, trusting that his own legacy would naturally follow. The story of Jobe Bellingham's transfer is an interesting case study in navigating unique professional pressures. He didn't avoid a challenge, he pursued his own ambition. Now, at the Westfalenstadion in front of the famous Yellow Wall, Jobe Bellingham has the opportunity to write a new chapter, one that is distinctly his own.